Greetings, Coalition sisters and guests. Our keynote speaker today has over 20 years of experience advocating for children and families. Her advocacy work began in 1994 when she left a lucrative accounting job to start her very successful child care center. Our speaker holds a master's degree in early childhood special education from George Washington University and a doctorate in education from the Richmond, Virginia Seminary. She also studied jurisprudence at Oxford University, Magdalen College in England. She is currently enrolled at the John Leland School of Theology, receiving a master's degree in Christian leadership and a graduate certificate in biblical justice formation. Among her many accomplishments, she has been a reoccurring parenting expert on the Harry and Steve Harvey daytime talk shows. She is also the founder of SOAR, Stand Out and Rise, which encourages and empowers young girls to become the best and highest version of themselves. Our speaker is the president of the John C. Maxwell Parenting and Family Certification Program with over 16,000 coaches in 150 countries. She is the author of Stepping Out on Faith, How to Open a Quality Child Care Center, Parenting on Purpose, a menu for raising children in today's society, and her new book, Game Changers, Strategies for Leading the Family Through the Storms of Life. She is a consultant, a speaker, author, founder of Happy Home Christian Leadership Academy for Early Learners Incorporated, and America's Super Nanny on Lifetime Television. She is labeled a force for good by the Washington Post and has a deep passion for children. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker to the virtual floor, Dr. Deborah Tillman.
Thank you so very much, Sister Connie. Oh my gosh, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice, right? And be glad in it. I thank every person that is on this virtual conference right now. I want to thank Madam President Gina Wood and the entire coalition. I'm totally honored and humbled to be speaking at the 36th annual forum of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Northern Virginia chapter. So thank you so much. I'm totally honored to be here. So whether it is that I am teaching teachers in Asbury Park, New Jersey, or whether it is that I'm working with military moms, or just being on national television, I like that quote that Dr. Maya Angelou says, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. I stand on the shoulders of my mother who motivated me. I stand on the shoulders of my grandmother who gave me so much grace. And I stand on the shoulders of neighbors who fought for me. But I grew up in a time where we had the entire village rooting for you. They empowered you, they encouraged you, they uplifted you, and they inspired you to be the best that you can be. And so I stand on behalf of them today. Listen, Mark Twain said a quote a long time ago, and it says that the two most important days of our lives are the day we're born and the day we find out why. So y'all know my story. 29 years ago, I was a staff accountant, early 20s, successful business, 6 figures, living my best life, right? And then I got married and had a son, and we had 7 childcare providers and centers in 3 months. Yeah, I said it, 7 in 3 months. We had horrible situations. My son was dropped off at a center in his car seat, only to come back 4 hours later, and he was still in that car seat, sweating profusely. There was a time when, you know, if we're moms, we're pumping breast milk all night long, and I came to pick him up and he was given the wrong breast milk. My child had bruises all over his back. And finally, at some point, you know, I was asking God, why me? Why is this happening to me? And I heard crickets, nothing. And then finally at the 7th, don't ask me why it took me 7 childcare providers, okay, to get the light bulb to go off. But at the 7th, by this time I have anxiety. This time I'm anxious, I'm sweating, I can't find my child. I'm going from room to room, opening doors, and I don't know where he is. And so finally I open a door in a dark room, and my 3-month-old son is on his back in a bassinet with a bottle in his mouth. The ledge of the wall is holding up the bottle, and he's sucking air. Now, I don't know what that did for me at that moment. I don't remember grabbing his stuff. All I remember is grabbing him and running to my home, falling to my knees, and surrendering to God. I lifted up my hands and said, what is it you want me to do? Because obviously what I'm doing is not the right thing. And that's when I heard 7 still small words. I want you to do it better. Y'all, I quit my job the next day. That was the only job that didn't get a 2-week notice. They got nothing, but they were probably glad to see me go because I was frustrated. I was depressed, and I didn't know why this was happening to me. But finally, I asked the right question. What is it you want me to do? And so for the past 29 years, I've been on a mission to work with parents and families and children, not for me, but for the fact that I wanted to make sure that no parent would ever have to feel the pain that I felt those 3 months. Absolutely ridiculous, right? But sometimes, we make plans and God has a purpose. And so that was my purpose in life. And it led me to the work that I'm doing now that I am so proud of. So with the short period that I have to talk to you today, I want to speak and ask the Holy Spirit to speak through me from the topic, it's time to reimagine parenting on purpose. It's time, y'all. It's time. It's not that our parents didn't do a great job, because most of them did. They did what they knew how to do. But when we know better, we do better. And so I'm going to give you 6 things, right? Another thing, right, to put on our list. But it's not about doing. It's about being, so that our children can have the best opportunity to reach their fullest potential. So there's some things that, yes, we are going to have to do, but more importantly, we're going to have to become. So the first thing is parenting. What does that mean? What does that mean to parent? Parenting is not about perfection. Parenting is about being purposeful. That's all. It's about being purposeful in what we want for our family, what we want for our children, what vision we have for them. And it's about modeling the behavior that we want them to see, right? And so it's like Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. What is it? Where is it? What is it that you want your children to be? Like if you just would think of a vision statement, you go into your jobs and you think about, oh, this is the vision statement. This is the mission statement. This is the goal. These are the objectives. And that's your job. But what about your life? What about your family? Why aren't we spending time creating a vision for our family? And so that's what we do. That's what we teach our parents at our school, to create a vision. What is it you want? Begin with the end in mind. Model the behavior you want to see. So if you want your child to be compassionate or resilient, then that is what we have to show. And that does not mean working 24/7. That does not mean having the Martha mentality, right? Jesus came to the house of Martha and Mary, and Martha is busy, doing 10,000 things. And Jesus like, hold up, Martha. Mary's sitting at my feet. Mary's listening. And so for us to reimagine parenting, it really is about throwing away some of the stuff that has been heavy weights and baggage on our lives. What that means is, yes, I have a daily high five every day. I wake up at 5. I meditate. I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. I write down 3, not 20 things that I'm going to get done that day. 3, y'all. 3, that's it. And then I pray. Those are my daily high fives. They don't have to be yours, but we do need time. The young ladies said it before me. We need time. to rest and relax. There is no, it's no accident that you get on a plane and they say, put the mask on yourself first before you put it on your child. Doesn't mean we don't love our child. Doesn't mean we don't love our children and our nieces and nephews. What it means is that we cannot pour from an empty cup. So we have to fill ourselves up. We have to think about our mind and our body and our spirit, and it all goes together. You are chosen for such a time as this. Do you see what the world looks like? We are chosen for such a time as this. And even if you aren't a parent, you have a niece, you might have a cousin, you know somebody that has a kid. It is time to be what heaven sees for them. And so, yes, time out for doing everything under the sun, being the superwoman. It's all about being purposeful and leading by example. The second thing that I want us to become like is when we're raising our Black girls and Black boys, but particularly our Black girls, I want us to affirm them. Affirm them doesn't mean good job, baby. Everybody, y'all know me. Everybody don't get a trophy. Okay, if you lose, then they need to learn how to lose. Because why? Because it builds grit and resilience. But give our children affirmations that the world doesn't give them. Let our children know that they are loved, that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, that they are the head and not the tail, that they are above and not beneath, that they are the lender, not the borrower, teaching that entrepreneurial spirit early on. Every night, I don't care what kind of day my son had, I told him, I put my hand on his heart and I said, there is greatness in you. And yes, there were those days that it was just really difficult. And I would turn my back and say, yes, there's greatness in you, but I don't see it right now. But there's greatness in you, because I was speaking life to him. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. We have to learn to be dream builders, not dream killers. And it doesn't matter where we are. I don't care. I work with parents that live in the projects. I work with parents that are homeless. Your current situation does not equal your permanent destination. And just because you made a mistake doesn't mean you are a mistake. And so we are here, all of us, 100 Black women together. We are powerful, y'all. We are powerful. Did you know that? We make the crooked places straight in the world. And so our job is to affirm our children. Now, I'll tell you how my daddy did it, because I was, I have 2 sisters. I'm the middle child. Okay, that's a whole nother conference talk. Okay, whole nother virtual talk. But I was a middle child and I adored my father. But every single day, he would stop us at that front door before we went out. And he said 5 things. He would put his hand on our hearts, and see, generational, right? Because I did the same thing with my son, but I didn't do the 5 things. I did it in another way. And my father said, I'm imprinting this on your spirit. Y'all, from 2 to 12, until he left. 2 to 12, right? He said, number 1, you are accepted, regardless of what the world says, regardless of how they see you out there, how they see the sassy, outspoken Black girl, okay? She might wind up being a lawyer one day. So we don't shush our kids. You are accepted in this house. The second imprint, you are valuable, and your value has nothing to do with us birthing you. Yes, you came through us, but you are not from us. God created you, and your value, I mean, come on, he died for us. And so that was the second fingerprint that I heard every single day. The third fingerprint was that you are capable. You are capable of doing anything you put your mind to. You have a mind, you have creativity, you can do anything. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. You take the T out of can't, and you can try. Every single day, imagine the blueprint, imagine the foundation that was laid by him doing this. The fourth fingerprint was that I am forgiven. And so I never felt like I needed to lie. Parents always come to me, why my child lying? Why my child lying? Because they have a fear that they are going to get in trouble if they lie, if they tell the truth, not if they lie, but if they tell the truth. So they lie, right? And so when we take the fear out of it and we say, listen, we just saw you take that cookie, right? But I'm just gonna give you a break. did you take the cookie? And then they look at you. And before they answer, because you never want to set children up for failure, you say, if you tell me the truth the first time, you won't get in trouble. If you lie, we got consequences, okay? And then allow that fear, that whole fear-based mentality to come off of them so that they wind up at an early age wanting to tell you the truth. But yes, we were forgiven. My father used to say, there's nothing you could do to make me not love you. Nothing in this world. I don't care if you went out and killed somebody, you know, I care, but you know, I still love you. And then the fifth fingerprint was that we were always loved. And love is a verb. It is not a noun. Love has some action steps to it. And trust and know that it has nothing to do with the number of presents you or I buy our children, right? It's about being present, showing up at the game, showing up at, you know, whatever they're doing at the spelling bee, just showing up. And you can show up tired. You know, I think our biggest issue in the world of parenting as we reimagine this is that we feel guilty. We feel like, you know, we can't take a break. I think somebody else said that. We can't take a break. We can take a break, and we must take a break. Because again, you can't pour from an empty cup. But those are the 5 fingerprints that my father instilled in our hearts. And so when I went to Wesleyan, and I was the only African-American Black girl, okay? Because that's all they saw was color. I wasn't intimidated. When I went to Oxford University, I wasn't intimidated. My father told me who I was. And the quicker we tell our children who they are, they not only are able to survive, but thrive. The third thing that we have to become is that we have to become a people that educate our children. Yeah, I know, we say we do. I know, 1, 2, 3, ABCs, yep. I run a school, 27 years. I'm talking about the kind of education that can lead our children to lasting effects. We know what this educational system is teaching our children. People are already going crazy about critical race theory. Excuse me, that's just history. It's just the truth. Let's speak truth to power. But we can't outsource our children to somehow have the teachers do it. Their hands are tied. We can't sort of outsource them to you know, the system. We know how that is. And so we have to educate our children. They need to know that they didn't just show up as slaves, that they had a history before that their DNA is encoded with kings and queens. They need to know that. They need to know that, yes, it's great to know about World War I, but they should also know about Tulsa race riots, right? It's great to hear about Whitman, but can't we tell them about Langston Hughes and James Baldwin? It's great to know about Oprah. I love her. All of us, most of us do, right? But it's also great to know about Madam C.J. Walker. And so we have to be the ones to pour into our children. We are the ones. That is our mantle. So that's either by mentoring, that's either by getting a neighbor. If you see a single mom, grab her and say, I'm here to be your hands, your legs, your feet, whatever. How can I help you? How can I help you? It's about being a good neighbor. And somehow we used to have the village, y'all. We got to go back to that village mentality because it takes a village and a parent to raise children. All right. The fourth thing we need to do is nurture our children. Nurture them, not just when they're babies and cute and huggy and, you know, oh, they smell so good sometimes, you know, no, even when they're 29. I have a 29-year-old and I still have to nurture her. Our job never ends. Parenting is a journey. And so it's up to us to make sure that our children are inundated with knowing that we are here for them. The world is going to knock you down. They may knock you down, right? But we are here for you. The world may not think that you're the most intelligent, young, Black, bold, beautiful girl, but we are going to nurture you in this house. Family is everything. And so it's up to us to nurture our children. Yes, there's going to be trials and tribulations in life. Yes, they're going to fall down, but teach them how to get back up. I already told you, I'm not that mom that is the trophy mom, right? Not everybody's going to get a trophy. The quicker you teach your children and the quicker we teach our children that sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, right? Failure is not fatal. Failure is not fatal. It's a lesson to say up, wrong way, turn and go another way. But we got to get out of our comfort zones to do that. Comfort zones are comfortable because they're familiar, not because they're healthy. And so we have to teach our children that, yes, you're going to go through a trial, but on the other side of that, baby, there's a testimony. You might go through the valley, but on the other side of that is victory. You might have a storm in your life, but on the other side, it might be success. Yes, you might see all of that if you don't give up. And that's how they have to see us. Remember, I talked about that modeling? When they see us, take a licking and keep on ticking and be authentic about it, they become whole, healthy human beings. So we don't have to wear the mask anymore, y'all. We could just be real. We could just be authentic. If you had a hard day and your child asks you, are you okay? Why do we wipe away our tears? Yes, baby, we're fine. No, we're not fine right now, but I'm gonna be all right. And you tell them how you're gonna be all right. So sometimes, yes, breathing is the only thing you can do. I used to go in the closet and count to 10. Sometimes it was 100. And I'd have the door cracked just to make sure the child didn't bump his head, okay? But the bottom line is I needed time. And we have to be okay with that. If God has us here for a purpose, we want to be able at the end of the day to meet our maker, whoever your maker is, and be able to say, we ran that race, we did the thing. But you gotta do it being healthy. I can't go to Australia and Africa and Denmark and not be healthy. I'm not gonna fulfill my divine destiny. And so because I want to do that, and because we are called to do that, then we must do the work. Finally, we want to be able to teach our children, teach and train them to make a difference. Yes, it's great to make a living, but we also have to teach them. We have to teach them, you want to make money? Yeah, mommy just not going to pull it out of the ATM machine. What skills do you have? What gifts? What talents? What abilities? Oh, you like to write. Oh, you like to read. Well, let's write a book. Oh, you like to go to McDonald's. I don't. I'm just using this as an example. Oh, you like to go to McDonald's. Okay, let's buy some stock in that so you can see your dividends grow. We have to stop pushing things under the table and keeping things secret and not teaching our children what they need to know. We need to be in their face from 0 to 12. Teach, talk, and train. From 12 and up, listen. That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Learn them more and love them through the trials and tribulations that they're gonna go through, because we did. We went through the trials and tribulations, but it's all about making a difference. Our children are not here to make us happy. And we are here to make them happy. We're not here to make them. We are here to help them become the best and highest version of themselves that they can be. But we're not in charge of that, because we don't know what they're gonna be.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Tillman. You have given us some nuggets to live by that we can definitely apply to our everyday life. This has really been a remarkable, remarkable presentation, and we just want to say thank you.